Hello, welcome once again. This is results-oriented preparation, where early preparation equals excellent results. Today, we're talking about why small, medium, and micro enterprises fail. What is the reason behind their failure? I'm sure in the past or through a lot of statistical organizations like Stats SA, you have heard comments or you have heard release of information stating that there is a high rate of failure in the first 3 years of small, medium, micro enterprises. All right. Now, in this video, we're going to look at the reasons why they fail. Please help the channel to grow, like, share, and also subscribe if you have not yet subscribed. In the past videos, we spoke about strategy and its importance in driving and propelling an organization forward. Now, this means that no organization can be excluded from the issues of strategy, formulation of strategy that drives an organization forward. Now, having said that, you might have a strategy, but the strategy could also be misplaced, which means, therefore, we need to go back and look at certain reasons why organizations may fail, especially in this case, we are focusing on small, medium to micro enterprises. Okay, now we have a lot of those cropping up in South Africa and all around the world. However, for small, medium, and micro enterprises to be able to compete with larger business and corporate giants in any sector and any industry, what they ought to be doing is do things that the larger companies are doing. All right. Okay. Sometimes we may say there are budgetary issues or access to money that is needed to run particular functions within a business. So you'll find, for example, an entrepreneur being a solopreneur, one person leading an organization, or a couple of people in a partnership or in a close cooperation, whatever the setup might be. There are limitations that are there in performing all functions. So therefore, you find that the workload is vested on a few people or on one person, therefore straining that person. Let me give you an example. For example, someone has got a product or service idea. Now, the idea in itself might be good, but other functions will begin to show that this person is lacking here or there. For example, if your marketing experience or skills are low, then you won't be able to market the organization properly. Your financial skills, your budgeting will be affected, your financial records. Therefore, you won't be able to cost and to put your markups properly. And all these other things come into play and affect the organization negatively. However, in today's video, our emphasis is on market research. All right. I know that there are technicalities on what passes as market or marketing research. We are not really interested in those nitty-gritty details, but in brief, we are just looking at market research as the reason for failure of small, micro, medium enterprises. The lack of market research or market research that is not done properly puts them in a position where they might fail. So which means we have to start by defining market research. Market research is a process of gathering information about the target market or the consumer base that buys your products. What sort of insight does it bring in terms of customer preferences, in terms of their buying trends, in terms of their income levels, in terms of their needs? What is it that they want? Right now, having an ability to gather such information gives the business a better footing in terms of prosecuting the agenda of being a successful business with a proper marketing strategy in place. Therefore, we are looking at how does market research become one of the reasons why businesses fail. Now, to do that, we need to also focus on the reasons why marketing research or market research is important for small, medium, and micro enterprises. So much so that if we identify the reasons why it is important, we will know exactly that failure to do this will open holes and give gaps here and there that will cause that particular enterprise to fail. Now, a business that is successful obviously has a target market. Now, first and foremost, market research is important for a business to be able to identify who their target audience is. Now, in doing so, it means that you are now able to segment the market and select the consumers or the group of consumers that you're going to target with your product, with your marketing communications. So the market research is essential for segmenting the market. If you're segmenting the market, it means that you are splitting the market according to its demographics, according to income levels, geographic location, according to psychographic details and issues. All of those things will then help you to target a particular audience. Therefore, to do that, you need market research. You need market research to segment your market and have a target audience. So that is the first reason why small, medium, and micro enterprises must do it, because business that are larger, who have a bigger budget, are doing it. Now, for them to compete with those, they need to have this in place so that they are able to do what the larger corporates are doing. Although this can still be done in a cheaper way, which we're going to look at in the next video. The second reason why market research is important is it helps the business to design effective marketing communications. Now, once we have identified the target audience, like what we spoke about in the first reason, now in the second reason, you need to have a targeted marketing communications that is made specifically for your target audience. Now, the ability to do this can only come from market research. You know who you must speak to. You know what drives them. You know what their desires. You know where they spend most of their time. Is it on social media? Is it before a television? Do they read publications? Are they listening to the radio? If you know this about your target market, then it is easy for you to then design marketing communications that are targeted at their particular needs. The third reason is, how can a business know the needs and the wants of their prospective customers or their customers unless they conduct market research? So it is imperative that market research needs to be done at all times. Otherwise, you are producing a product and then just throwing it to the market, which means you have gone backward to what is called in marketing a product or production-oriented company, where you are just focused on bringing what you think is the best product. In most cases, even if you have a best manufactured product with the best qualities, with best this and that, a color, texture, if it does not address a need, therefore the product eventually becomes a fail. No matter how good it looks, it smells, no matter how good it feels to the touch, no matter how good people perceive it to be, but if it does not address a need, then it's going to be a flop. And the only way to find the need is that you conduct market research that will identify what the need is, and having done that, then you can tailor make your product or your service offering to address that particular need. Another reason is to identify who your competitors are, right? That's number 4. You need to find out who is competing against you. Now, if you know what your competitors are, you know their strengths, you know their weaknesses, then you are able to come up with a good competitive strategy that deals with the competition, and so that it makes you a more preferred business. Your offering becomes more preferred because you know exactly the gaps that appear within the competition, and then you have your offering addressing those gaps and filling the market in places where your competitors are not really filling. Therefore, that gives you what is called a competitive edge, meaning that you are able to compete better and to perform better in certain areas in that particular market segment, therefore making you a more preferred business or a more preferred product or service, whatever it is that you'll be offering there. Number 5 will be, if you want to expand, obviously, which business doesn't want to expand? Everyone who's in business will tell you a growth strategy or a growth objective is always one of the most important things that a business must have in place. Or for you to grow, you need to address issues that are there in the market. One, you need to identify what are the trends, how are the tastes changing, how are customer tastes changing, in which direction are customer go, what are they preferring. Now you need to have your finger on the pulse at all times to know exactly what your customers are preferring. Now that can only be achieved through market research. Now having market research will give you ideas on how to innovate, in which direction you must innovate. And you look at big corporates such as iPhone, look at Apple with the iPhone, look at Samsung with their Galaxy flagship phones. Now, what drives their innovation is they see, for example, you have seen the competition now is mostly on cameras, on how fast a phone is processing and all of those. So this is what the market wants. All their innovation is driven by what the market wants. Now, knowing what the market wants then can drive your growth strategy, can drive your new product offering, can drive your research and development, can drive your innovation, so much so that you are always ahead of your competition. And in so doing, you become more sustainable over time and hence more profitable. That puts you in a place where we can say, oh, now you're becoming a successful business. If you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. If you have not yet subscribed, we would really love for you to subscribe and help us grow as a channel. Now, in the next episode, we'll be looking at what market research is. What really is market research? We'll look at what small to medium enterprises can do for them to participate effectively in market research, as well as cheaper and more effective ways to do market research. Please tune in into the second episode. See you soon.